Record on the computer. All right, looks like we are recording. All right, I am Coach Angie, and welcome to Conversations with Coach Angie. This is my hubby, and his name is Brandon.
Good morning.
All right, so I wanted to talk about sleep today because I've been really thinking about this lately. I know I've done a lot of research on sleep, and based on the Harvard research sleep study, they recommend 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And for many reasons. Number one, when you are sleeping, that is when your body is restoring and rejuvenating and recovering. Sleep deprivation has been linked to even increased risk of obesity and lifestyle related diseases, increased levels of cortisol. And if you are trying to be healthy and even lose weight, you don't want to have elevated cortisol levels all the time. Mm-hmm. So I just read this book, however, and I thought it was a great book. It's called Miracle Morning. And in this book, the recommendation is to get up earlier so that you can do things like meditate and do affirmations and all the stuff, right? Okay, so here's my dilemma, and I'm sure that there are many people that are struggling with this like me. So I have a business that I'm trying to run and grow, but I also have a family. I have 2 kids. I have a little one, it's 9 months. I have a 4-year-old. I work also, still full time. So there's a lot of time during the day that's dedicated to other things. And in the morning when I get up, I try to meditate and do a couple of activities. I work out, I do all that stuff. That's my me time in the morning. I was already getting up at 4 a.m. and I was getting to bed between 9:30 and 10. So that's about 6 or 7 hours, right? Mm-hmm. On a regular basis. So now I'm getting up at 3:30. So in the book, Miracle Morning, they do address the fact that you might be getting less sleep. And so the suggestion is to tell yourself as you're going to sleep, I will wake up rejuvenated and refreshed. Mm-hmm. Even though you're technically, possibly, this is not everybody, this is really just me, but it could be most people. If you're really trying to do this Miracle Morning thing, you might be getting less than 6-7 hours of sleep on a regular basis.
Okay.
And I listened to a podcast today on top of that said sleep deprivation can also increase your risk of cancer. And I knew this already, sleep deprivation compromises your immune system. Mm-hmm. So in the time of COVID, or just in general, especially during the fall winter months when like flu is going around and stuff like that, you want to be as healthy as you can and do what you can to keep your immune system strong. And sleep is not something that's like a luxury. Like, hey, I'm gonna get it when I get it. It's for, the rich and famous. It's for everybody. It's a cornerstone of our health and wellness. Like, you absolutely need to sleep. So I wanted to have a conversation about that.
Okay.
What do you, so you have the research and then you have mm-hmm. this person who's also very knowledgeable,
sure,
very successful, mm-hmm. who has developed this Miracle Morning for himself, and he wrote a book about it, and he's sharing it with a whole bunch of people. It's not like a new book. I don't know when it came out. I think it's been out for a couple of years. So in my mind, I have like, hey, I want to be the successful person. However, I don't want to be sleepy all the time.
Right.
And then on top of that, so I'm sorry, one thing that they addressed, because I was writing down.
Okay. Just let me know when the conversation part starts.
Yeah. He said, you cannot, because I did talk, he asked me, he's like, so like, when are you going to sleep? I'm like, well, I'll take naps, which is a form of I will catch up. And naps, I think, are important. I'm not saying that they're not important. I think they're very, very helpful. But if you're getting less than the amount of sleep that you're supposed to get every day, they kind of explained it. And this is coming from, I'll post the link to the TED Talk. It's from a sleep center. So I think they know a few things about sleep. But he was saying that you can't like catch up on sleep. It's not like, oh, my bank account is at negative and I'm just going to put more money into it when I get paid on Friday. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work like that. It's important to get a regular amount of sleep, get the recommended amount and try to get it on a regular basis. And it's not really going to do anything long-term to catch up and try to like, let me get a nap here and there. And then I'm going to sleep in on Saturday. Like it throws off your whole sleep well-being.
Right.
So that's it.
Nah, it's a lot to kind of digest. You said a lot in that
my introduction.
In that intro, yeah. I'm like, man, so I had to write some stuff down so I wouldn't forget what I was gonna say to some of your points. I think that I guess starting in the beginning, all your research is saying that physically, it sounds like we're designed physically for 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
When I look at history and people, I mean, now we wake up earlier, we have light, we have electricity, so we can be up longer than people were a long time ago. They had to work based on the sunlight.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that, and there's been research and study, I don't know if you've heard of circadian rhythms, where we basically, our bodies and we know when to wake up and when to go to sleep based on the sun. A lot of times. So, I mean, we can go longer because now we're getting the electricity. We got light, LED lights, so you can hear it go into blue light and all that kind of stuff. That comes from the sun, which triggers our brain to release the hormones that wake us up. And when the sun goes down, it decreases those hormones. So that's when we know to go to sleep. We kind of threw that off with LED lights, I think, and we have light, no more campfires and stuff like that. But all the research you started out with was like all physical. So it sounds like all this research is done to show that all these great benefits on our physical well-being. You talk about cortisol levels and all that. And I've also, there's a researcher, guy that I listen to, Jim Quick, he's called Quick Mind. Mm-hmm. And he had someone on his show, I don't remember the guy's name, but they talked about how sleep helps with your memory. So if you're practicing something, you're learning something new, the time that you sleep not only renews your body, but your mind, your memory. That's when your subconscious is really remembering what you practiced during the day or what you've learned during the day. And that's when it gets stuck deeper into your mind versus you just repeating through tasks.
They brought that up too in the TED Talk, by the way.
Right on. So
I forgot.
See, research. I
forgot because I'm sleepy.
I do my study. So that helps your memory. So you want to have enough sleep to be able to do that. In fact, even I'm in a design. I read a design book by Don Norman, and even he talked about research where you do the sleep greatens your chances of remembering how to do things. If you're trying to learn something new, if you're learning a new job process, if you're reading a book, if you're whatever it is, you got to have. The study shows 7 hours at least to 8.
Yeah.
So while I like, so the miracle morning, he's saying you're going to get less sleep. I don't know how much.
Well, he doesn't say specifically, but he does say it could be like possibly you're going to be cutting into your sleep hours. So, for example,
I mean, if I'm sleeping 12 hours, then I'm asleep 8.
Then you're still getting
an cutting optimal into my sleep, I guess.
Yeah, you're still getting
optimal sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's say you're reading this book like I was, and you're like right at the cusp of I'm getting at least 6.5, 7 hours of sleep. And I'm saying, okay, I'm going to wake up 30 minutes earlier. That's our
Someone else wants to join the conversation.
We're waking up 30 minutes earlier so I could have more time to do this, there's different things, like they're called the lifesavers. So it's like silence, affirmations, different things. So that can take like an hour or whatever, and your workout, right? So you get up earlier to get those things done. Those things are going to help you to be more focused and energized and purposeful throughout your day, which I think is absolutely true if you're doing things like meditation anyway or visualization anyway.
Well, I mean, for us, it's like the only time that we can have that focus and meditation is before the kids get up.
Right.
So we have to like get it in before they get up. So if the girl's getting up at 6:30 at best, sometimes, well, you know, she was getting up at 4 at one time with you. And then the baby's up. He just got up maybe 20, 30 minutes ago. Like you got to get up just to get that time in. So I started waking up a little earlier. I mean, I do 5 o'clock. I'm not a 3:30, 4 o'clock. I don't even like to say I'm a morning person, but with the morning miracle, I think that it, or miracle, what is it?
Miracle morning.
Is that what I said? Miracle
No.
worker? Miracle morning. So with miracle morning, I think the greatest benefit of what you've shared with me about it is it helps me with my determination. Like it's a weight for me to get up and sit on the side of my bed and hit the snooze and sit there like, oh, I don't want to get up, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do this. So to me, the best part of, I mean, you know, I don't know, I didn't read the book or the sum of the book is like, yo, just be determined to do it. Like, that's the best thing. Like, don't wake up and start thinking I can't do this, or I don't want to do this. Just get up and get to it.
Right.
So that's why people
it's your mindset.
Yeah, it's the mindset. I think that's the best part of it. But I think that saying that you need less than 7 hours is counter that. Like, I think that it can work hand in hand with that. But I don't think that getting less than 7 hours is gonna start to kind of, what's the word, diminish the return that you're getting on your sleep, you know what I mean, or the time that you're getting. If you're only getting 5 hours, then you're cutting out on all those benefits of the cortisol, your body rejuvenating after you've done a hard workout that day, your memory of trying to remember how to learn your work and your business and do more things. Like, now you're taking away from that side. So while I say getting up earlier, you should do, definitely, but you got to kind of take an audit of your time for the day. And I'm determined, like, one of my goals is to get 7 hours of sleep, which means I have to go to bed by this time to get up by that time. So to get up by 5, I got to go to bed by 7. By 10 to get 7 hours of sleep.
Yep.
So I have to be determined and focused to make that happen. Sometimes I might go to 11 if I have extra work, or if, like you said, kids, distractions, whatever happens, maybe I have to go to 11, or just to unwind even, I might go to 11, but usually your body's going to make you go to sleep. So it's like, I'll end up falling asleep on the couch probably more often than I'm actually, whatever the case may be at the end of the night. But that's what I give my trash energy to anyway. So it's probably just watching cartoons or something for me.
Yeah. I think you brought up even a good point, just kind of at night. So you got to get up early just to kind of get your day, get your mind right. And then after, the kids go to sleep, and we're kind of speaking specifically if you have kids. So I guess, so
it depends on your job. If you got a job that you're working, but let's say you got a job, but you want to do something else, like you want to switch careers.
That's a good.
Or you're trying to advance, then you want to wake up earlier so that you can put in at least an hour towards doing the next great thing in your life, what I mean?
Like we are doing in our lives.
Or even promotion and where you at. If you love your job, but you want to get to that next level or reach more people or whatever your purpose is in that work.
It's the extra effort you got to put into it.
Then you just got a little more time to do that. And you can probably get, instead of us getting 6 or 7 hours, you're getting 7 or 8, which is even more optimal. You're like in the zone then. It's like you get 8 hours and you still have what? If you're getting 8 hours, you got 16 hours of day. You got 16 hours you're awake.
Right.
We put in 8 hours of work. Now you got 8 hours left. If you're commuting, that's 2 hours gone. So now you got like 6 hours left.
Yeah.
Time with the kids and the family, it's another 2 hours. Now you got 4 hours left in the day to do whatever you do. So I say you got to do like time audits, and probably what's better than that determination, all that stuff, I think having those focused, intentional hours are going to do you much better than cutting into your sleep and making it less time. And being really focused for an hour is better than less sleep and more work, or working more hours. Because there's another guy I listened to, I forgot his name. Maybe she'll put some links in the thing. We'll go back and she'll put links at the end of the video and show you what stuff is.
You mentioned like 3 books.
Because I read. But this guy, he has a podcast also, and he has a book, and it's like he was an entrepreneur, used to work mad crazy hours, but he's changed the whole culture of his business now as he's had kids, and we have to time block, I think was the term they used. We have to block time for this and that. And if you're working past 5 o'clock, it's like, what were you doing all day? Like, you should have been able to get this done within your 8-hour block. And when you kind of cut it off at this certain time, you'll find that you have enough time to get everything done you're trying to get done that day.
Yeah, and
or at least most of them. You don't want to get 100% done because then you're probably not pushing yourself.
With time blocking, though, you have to stop like your activity. And I know like you, and I even see this like for myself, if I say, okay, my goal is to get these 5 tasks done within this block of time, and I'm only on task number 3, like I hate that. And so
but you got to be okay with that, because
that's the thing.
If you're getting 100% of all your goals, and that means you probably could have did 6 or 7. So you want to hit like 90-80% of your goals that you set or your task versus, you want to knock out your top 3 that you got to get done, of course, but those extra ones, like you don't have to hit 100% of your to-do list that day. Like if you have a couple extra, then that's actually, I think, a good thing. And that came from my homeboy. Like, I'm like, yeah, you sure right now. If you only hit 30%, then you probably didn't put in enough effort or you got the wrong goals. But otherwise,
I probably do a lot of too much thinking.
But don't beat yourself up because you didn't hit 100%.
Right, hold on, I'm just feeding the baby.
I know he has some input on it. Since
his input is feed me.
Feed me, even if that means waking up at 3:30 in the morning, cutting into that 6 hours, and you got to get up at 4 to hit your miracle morning.
So yeah, so I think this is actually very helpful because I do need to take a look at my schedule overall. I don't want to compromise my sleep because you've seen me many times walk into the pantry and I'm like, I have no idea why I'm here. I just have like these these memory lapses. And I feel like I'm not as efficient during the day with my work. I'm not as on it. And I feel better this week because we had a little getaway. It was our 10-year anniversary and we got better sleep. And
no kids, huh?
And then Monday, I'm like, I am on top of it. So I'm feeling good, but I know that may not last. So I was just kind of like, man, I know, like in theory.
And then it was Columbus Day, so the school was closed.
Oh yeah,
Indigenous Peoples Day, right on.
I feel like
I was on Monday until school was closed.
Yes, and the that threw us off a little bit, but that's okay. We did a great job.
We did good. Good job, go team.
So it is about, I think you brought up a lot of great points of number one, what is going to drive you in the morning? What's that thing that gets you going? And it does help to have like different tasks that you want to accomplish to help you like get in the mindset. So it could be exercise, it could be meditation, it could be reading or devotion, whatever that is. I think this week I've been really intentional with making sure like, okay, I'm going to spend 5 minutes in silence and then 5 minutes doing affirmation, 5 minutes doing this, so that by X time in the morning, I am, I'm working out by a certain time, so I'm like kind of sticking to that schedule. And then same thing during the day is like sticking to a schedule, which, there are going to be some variances a little bit, but I think that if I want to be done with my work by the time dinner comes around so we could just relax, then I need to be more intentional with my day. And then make sure I get to bed on time. And then of course we try to spend time together at the end of the night, but we do have a date night that we really push for on weekends. So, push come to shove, we know we're going to have some very intentional time together, like Saturday night or something like that. So I did get a few tips though. I think, you got a lot from Brandon, but time blocking, and we'll share those links that we shared if you want to go deeper into any of those things. But as far as sleep, if you do struggle with staying asleep and getting good sleep or just sleep in general, they say keep the room cool. So I know I get hot at night. Like I just start getting hot. I think it's probably hormones. But to keep the room cool, so like keep the fan on if that's helpful. Get regular, go to sleep at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends.
Even on the weekend.
Yeah. Which I do,
which
because
is actually cool. I mean,
yeah, I still want that quiet time
quiet
on,
moments,
on Saturday and Sunday.
Man, nothing like that early morning cup.
So
cool in the morning.
And then the third thing is you can't catch up on sleep. So you might be able to like really get some really good nights sleep on the weekends. I think that is great, but don't think that it's going to fill your cup from a deficit during the week, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be working on really being more intentional with my schedule and, getting to sleep. I've been getting to sleep realistically at 9:30. I think I'm going to shift to 4 again. How many hours is that?
What, from what time you go to sleep?
9:30 to 4.
That's about right. Probably 9 to 4 would be right on, I think. That would be the time. 9, 10, 11, 12 to 4. That's 7 hours.
Okay, that's better. The thing is, by the time between 9 and 9:30, it's like I might still have the kitchen to clean up. I sit down with Brandon, baby steps, right? I was getting 6. Mm-hmm. So now we're going for 6.5. Baby steps are okay, right? I think that's it. Anything else?
No, good talk.
All right. Bye.